So tonight I was using the microwave heating up dinner, and towards the end of the dinner the microwave just went totally off, totally blank, and checked all the breakers. Everything else in the RV is working fine except for our microwave, and it's a convection oven and it is just dark. So looks like part of this camping trip this weekend I'm going to get to troubleshoot this problem. I suspect that it's either the microwave has died, maybe there's a fuse in there that has blown, or it's somehow we've lost electric where it plugs in. And it plugs in behind this panel here. There's an outlet. I'll have to take that off and take a peek and make sure that the 115 voltage at the outlet is available. So the saga of the non-functional microwave convection oven is continuing. I have taken off the access plate to where the microwave is plugged in, and I plugged in a tester that tests for continuity of electricity, and this is what I got. There is only one orange light. There should be two. Let me get a little flashlight. Okay, so I got a little bit more light in there so you can see. According to the chart on the outside of the tester, we're missing neutral. And this wire goes down here into here. I can see it through the crack here on the microwave and the wall, and then it goes into this space right in here. There's a hollow space in here, up under here. And from there, I have no clue where it goes to. I don't know if they put it through the wall.
No.
That's the only thing that I can assume, that they put it through the wall and it goes down here. There's another, it's a yellow cable, so it's really easy to see. Actually, we can't see it down there. And I can see some yellow there, but I can't tell if it's, no, it's not the right kind of wire. So I don't know where it goes to. It doesn't come this way. So unless it's in here, there's another wire down there. Wire run. Really dusty down there. I'm assuming right now that it does go this way, so we'll find out. So I've been able to trace the wire to the bottom of this cabinet here. The microwave is up above. The yellow wire is where the electric comes from. There's a terminal block there. And this goes out and it comes around and it goes through over there in the corner. I don't know if you can see it. That down there, there's a cable run. And it is one of the black wires in there. The one that's closest to the wall. And then it goes to another terminal block back here. And from there it goes from the yellow wire all the way back to the fuse panel. And I've been able to verify that we have connectivity we have neutral, we have ground, and we have hot on the fuse panel. So I know it's not there, so I know it's somewhere in between. I'm suspecting that it's possibly either a break in the wire somewhere or it's in the fuse panel itself. I've measured the voltage on the back of the outlet directly to contacting the neutral and the hot wires, and I do not have 120. I do have 120 between hot and ground, which is expected, but I don't have neutral to hot. So the neutral wire is definitely open somewhere. So we have this Molex connector. I was able to test continuity from this one here, this Molex connector, up to the outlet, and we have good continuity. I was measuring voltage over here, and unfortunately my meter is not measuring AC at the moment for some reason, so I had to revert and try a continuity test. This is the last little bit of the test that I have. I do have another dummy light indicator for AC, and it was only indicating power on the one leg, the tester unit. So I jumpered here, and I did a shorts test all the way back to the breaker, and there is an open for sure that I'm positive of. But there's another Molex connector over here, and it's probably really hard to see in the video, but it looks like part of the plastic connector has lifted up and away. I don't know that that's enough to cause this problem, but I'm certainly going to have to take a look. My problem is that this is the only easy access. The drawers here provide some amount of access, but not real good. There's bars in the way. I can't get my head back there or anything. The only other way to access it is over here from this side panel, and I've got this tabletop, swing up tabletop mounted here, which is going to make it quite difficult because I have to take that off. I'd have to take that outlet off and then pull up all of the nails from this side piece. So I'm going to try to access it from over here and from the drawers to see if I can't get to it, and then take a test measurement from there. So this is what it looks like with the drawers out. As you can see, there's no way I'm going to squeeze through there, but I might be able to reach back there. And I'm looking at the cover, and the cover's popped up on that one Molex, and it has the yellow wire, and that yellow wire back in the breaker box when it's coming in is marked microwave. So I'm thinking that this might be the source of the problem because it's popped up, but I'm going to have to take it apart in order to figure that out. It might even be broken. Let's reposition the flashlight. There's a tab right here. I don't know if you can see it where my finger's at. It looks like it's popped up. So it might actually be right there where the problem's at. If anything, I'll be able to test it at least the rest of the way back to the box and determine what the fault is between the box, the breaker box, and this point here, or from this point here over to the other Molex that's underneath the stove. I decided I really needed to check and make sure that the wires were connecting well inside here. So I opened up the Molex connector where the wires actually connect, and hopefully the light isn't too bad and you can see exactly what I'm looking at. All three wires appear to be seated properly in there, and this Molex connector, all it does is just slides down and it catches on here and on here to keep it in place. And it's really important that that be all the way down and make sure that the wire is seated. So that's what I'm hoping is wrong over here, is that since that one side is not down all the way, and it looks like from my angle I can see what looks to be the white wire, which is the neutral here, and that should be hopefully what my problem is. Once I get that screw the rest of the way out and get the Molex up and lift it out, I'll be able to bring it in closer to me so that I can actually see what's going on. So you may have noticed that in the last couple videos I've been using my flashlight to illuminate things, and it's getting dimmer. So I got to take a break and let the batteries charge. If you don't have one of these things, if you don't have these kind of batteries, these are the EBL 5000 milliamp hours from Amazon. I highly recommend that you get them. You go through a lot of batteries when you're camping with flashlights and stuff, and we use exclusively rechargeable batteries or rechargeable flashlights and lights. That way we're not going through a ton of batteries, and if we're ever in a place where we, remote, where we don't have any batteries, then we can always recharge them. It seems like a really horrible waste of energy to start up the generator and start these, but we do have an inverter for our battery bank, and we can charge them that way through the solar. It's a super investment. Highly recommend them. So I've been able to get the Molex out from back in the back. The tab is definitely pulled up, and this tab is secured down. So unless when they were installing it, making these connections, they didn't push it down and it didn't clamp all the way, I don't know. I'm going to pull it off right now and see if that's what the case is. Let's see if I can get it off while still videoing it. I'm using a headlamp that I keep around so that I can have my hands free and still use the light. I would have rather have the other flashlight because it's much brighter than this. From what I can see, that wire is not pushed down into the connector properly. I'm going to make some measurements and see if this is actually the place where the problem is. And hopefully I figured it out. So I'm looking at the connector, and where the connector is supposed to connect with the wire, it is definitely not flush down. It is sticking up. So I haven't taken a measurement yet. I was getting my other pair of glasses because I destroyed my other ones just a few minutes ago. The joys of working and needing glasses to see. Anyway, I'm going to do a real quick continuity check, and I'll be right back with you. So I've got my meter hooked up between the two, and I am reading open right now. So I'm going to touch the white wire end, and I got 1 ohm. Let's make this a little bit more. So connector end open, white wire got a short. So that's the problem. We've had this RV for 2 years, and this has never been an issue until now. So I'm going to go ahead and fix this and put it all back together and see if we got power to the microwave. I'm taking the cap off, the clear plastic cap off, because I need to go directly down onto the wire to press it back into the prongs. I don't know what you call those things, but they're self-connecting. And there's the wire, no resistance coming out. So we'll just get it like that. There's probably a special tool that they use to press this down in there, which I do not have. So I'm just have to use what I got, which is a screwdriver. It's hard getting through this. Yeah, they most definitely have a special tool for this.
I told her you don't have, huh?
No, I don't have it. Well, I'm improvising as best I can with a screwdriver, which probably is not the most ideal, but it's the only thing I have at the moment. Most likely what they're doing is they're
they're using a tool to press this down on top of this connector, this Molex connector. And the only reason I'm calling it Molex because that's the manufacturer, Molex. I think it's MX, I don't know. I don't know what kind of connector it is, but to me it's a Molex. I'm familiar with Molex. So let's take a check real quick, see if we got connectivity now. Yay, we got connectivity, so we're making contact in here. I'm going to take this and put it back on top. There's a little pivot point here. I had to take it off because I couldn't get directly down onto it. So I'm going to put that back on first. That pivot point. There we go. Got the one side down. There's the other. And now what I'm going to do is just press this down. And they both snapped. Well, the other one popped up. Looks like it's broken. But it's on the other side where the black wire is at. Hot. Probably doesn't help to be on this mat. So, rather than move the camera around and all that, I'm just going to get down to the hard floor. Oh, you may or may not be able to see it. And I'm going to use my foot to see if I can press it down. The weight, my own weight. Yeah, there's another snap. Hopefully it wasn't a crack. It was. This one side is broken. I must have broken it when I took it off. I cannot get it to even catch a little bit. Yeah, well, that's the side that the screw holding it down is going to go in. So that should help force that down like it's supposed to be. Anyway, I'm just going to do a real quick check here to make sure. I got the other end in here. I'm going to plug that in to it since it's got to go back that way anyway. And make sure that I didn't widen these too far out. Snap them back together. And I'm going to put this one back in here like this. I don't know, you probably can't see it. Well, I probably should have put that. Okay, it's all back together. As part of the troubleshooting, I took the breaker out just so I make sure that I didn't have a live circuit and that I could test it without having to worry about electric. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just turn the breakers off again, and I'm going to put this guy back in. These circuit breakers are pretty easy to get in and out. The actual contact for the circuit breaker is right here. And then there's two circuits here. I don't know where the other one goes, but I know the one goes to the microwave. It's on its own circuit. So I'm going to just, you have to angle it to get the angle right. Oh, yeah, it helps to put it in there the right direction. So it catches, there's a bar back there that it catches on. You just kind of slide it and then push it in. And that's as easy as it is. And I'm going to turn the breaker back on. I'm going to turn the other one back on. But I'm going to go out here first. And on my outlet, I got junk everywhere. I'm going to plug my tester in up here. Can't get that. There we go. There's the outlet. I'm going to plug my tester in. I think you can see it in the camera. Looks like it. And I'm going to turn the circuit breaker back on. And voila! We now have two lights. One of the many challenges of owning an RV is the potential to having to troubleshoot problems when you're camping. There's nobody out here for us to call. I suppose we could call a technician and say, hey, our microwave's not working, but I have enough knowledge that I can at least troubleshoot to the problem. And in this case, I was able to actually fix the problem. It's a really good feeling knowing that you can do it yourself. It does take a little bit of effort sometimes, and sometimes getting into uncomfortable positions that you just as soon not have to be in. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. This was a real-life troubleshooting, and you were with us each step of the way. And I'm going to show you the final product up here in just a minute. You know that old saying where they say, no job is well done unless you have parts remaining. Well, I have a part remaining, and guess where it goes? In there. I gotta take that all down again, take the outlet off, and put it on. Okay, we just finished up, or I should say I just finished up getting everything reattached, and our microwave now works. Yay! So what could have been a very expensive repair, even if it was just wiring, turned out to only cost me my time and a little bit of my free time that I had on the weekend that we were going to be doing other things today, but instead I chose to fix this simply because we're going to be heading out on another camping trip where we are not going to have any electricity, and that will be a boondocking for the totality. So that wraps up the repair of our microwave. It was very sudden that we lost power to it, and it wasn't coming on at all. It was working, and then it just decided to stop. So as it turned out, it was just a bad connection in one of the Molex underneath the sink. It was an easy repair, but it was a little bit difficult to find because I first had to understand how the microwave was getting its power and from where. And as it turned out, that was fairly simple to find out. I just had to remove some drawers and some cabinetry to figure out exactly where that was. Some of the tools that I used was a meter. The meter had the ability to sense current. It was an AC/DC voltmeter, a very simple tool, a couple of screwdrivers, and at the very end of it I used my drill to assist with getting everything back together quickly. So nothing I had to go out and buy to make the repair. It would have cost me probably hundreds of dollars to have it repaired on, at some repair shop somewhere, but I was able to fix it myself. So just keep that in mind if you have problems with your RV. They say about 80% of RV repairs are simple and easy to do yourself. It's the other 20% where you would have to have extensive knowledge of some of the systems in your RV. I would highly encourage you that if you run into a problem in your RV, that you take steps to try to first fix it yourself and save yourself the time and the effort of contacting a technician when you're out camping, or the cost that you would incur for having them come out, or, God forbid you have to take it to a repair shop and you'd have to wait weeks and weeks and weeks to get it repaired. Anyway, thank you for joining. Thank you for watching. Aloha.